Right, good morning, and welcome to this talk, How Databricks Does Analytics and a Whole Lot More, from me, Holly Smith at Databricks. Now, I assume that you are here because you don't really know what Databricks does. And to solve that problem, you might have gone to the website. The Databricks data intelligence platform allows your entire organization to use data and AI. It is built on a lakehouse for open and unified foundation for all data governance, and is powered by a data intelligence engine that understands the uniqueness of your data. And I don't know about you, but as a practitioner, I don't really know what this means. So instead of me going through and slides showing you, telling you what Databricks does with lots of slides, why don't instead I show you? And to show you, I'm going to have to ask a really big favor of all of you, and that is to suspend our belief right now and pretend that I don't work for Databricks, and instead I work for a ghost kitchen. Who here is even familiar with what a ghost kitchen is? Okay, what about this instead? Who here has ordered food from something like Deliveroo? Oh, thank goodness, more people have put their hands up. Other delivery services are available, of course. But what if I told you that sometimes when you order from your favorite restaurant, it might not actually come from a restaurant with seating, it might actually come from a kitchen that has no kind of serving bits associated with it, all under the same brand. And that's what we have here. We have a ghost kitchen that is a ghost kitchen that is cooking but doesn't necessarily have seating. But now our ghost kitchen has taken this a step further, and we're going to cook for multiple restaurants. They all have their own menu, but some of the food overlaps, making it a little easier for the chefs. And collectively, we are known as Casper's Kitchen. So how does the mechanics of this work? We don't have our own drivers, we don't have our own app, we don't even have a standalone website. We get one stream of items to cook, and at the end of it, we facilitate the pickups with the drivers. We are entirely dependent on multiple apps for order placement, and I'm sure this is not going to be the foreshadowing of any issues that we might have. Now, you might be asking, why would a ghost kitchen have an analyst? After the untimely passing of our previous owner, we have a new CEO who's super into technology, and that's why I was hired. And look, I have an email from him now. I got a notification. Sorry, I'm going to break the fourth wall a little bit because originally I was going to have this joke that the CEO's name was going to be Elon, but then he started doing some weird, interesting arm gestures. So instead, I would like to introduce you to his less intense mirror universe equivalent, Elon. But, okay, fix this now. I got a notification from that grill restaurant saying that if we don't improve our rating, they're going to remove us from their kitchens. Fix this now. Don't leave the office until this is sorted. Sleep under your desk. Okay, so to solve this, I'm going to switch to Databricks. I also cannot see what my screen is doing from here either. So, I'm going to switch to Databricks. And she says, oh, for goodness sake, come on. There we go. And so this is Databricks. Specifically, this is a Genie space. Now, this allows me to interact with my data without actually having to use any code. And so it's got all my data behind it, and I can just interact with it in plain English. And so what I need to do is I've got my star rating data. I'm just going to start asking it some questions, and it's come up with a few prompts for me as well. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say, what is the average star rating? And what this is doing is it's going through and looking through the relevant tables to find out what I need. It's gone through, it's thought about it, and it's come back with this answer of 4.69. Now, this is really nice, but if I want to double check what's going on, or if I want to understand what's happening, I can actually show the code as well to see what's happening here. I can see it's been quite smart about it. It hasn't just gone to find one table, it's gone to find three, concatenate them together, and give me my answer. And that's nice and all, but that's not really useful because I need this through time. So what if I say, can you show me the trend over time? And once again, it's going to find the right data. Sorry, is this visible? Do you want me to zoom in a little bit? Is that all right? Oh, it's fine. Okay, that's fine. And once again, it's going to have a look at my data, and it's going to give me this rating over time. Now, that is... Oh, it's not quite thought about this yet. what this has done is it's gone and rewritten that query for me so I can get the result. And it's also drawn me a nice little diagram over time to show me what my data is doing. And I can see here I've got my trend through time. And if this is a visualization, you know, I can tweak it just like I would any other visualization if I want to. That's fine. Actually, let's make a sense of urgency. Let's make this red. Okay, lovely. And that's useful, but it's not really helping me. And it's also for everything. I should probably also break it down by a restaurant. So can you, actually, delivery driver, can you break it down by delivery company? And one of the things that you might notice is that I've not had to specify the exact specific name of the tables that I want to use in terms of the columns that I want to use. It is using that plain English interpretation to understand what's going on here. And it's come back with everything. And look at that. It has shown me that actually, yeah, it is a problem with Uber Eats. It's not with anything else. This is where my problem is. Okay then, so let's go back to my slides. And I have, as an expert in ghost kitchens apparently today, I have a bit of a hypothesis that maybe this is to do with the order sizes over time. Maybe we've had like a recent promotion on that's increased the average order size. Maybe something's going wrong because our kitchens aren't prepared enough for it. I don't really know. And this is my hypothesis, but without data, it's just a hypothesis. Now the kitchen doesn't actually have this data, so I am going to have to email Uber Eats and ask them super duper nicely for them to email it to me. And oh look, they've got back to me very quickly. Dear valued customer, it is not our policy to provide data, but as you're at risk of being deplatformed, we can make an exception this one time. Please find attached the last 12 months of data. So this is in CSV, and so that is where we are going to start our analytics. And so I'm going to move over to here. So this is the Databricks notebook editor. This, if you are a coding person, if you're writing some analytics, or you're doing some ETL, this is probably the view that you're going to see the most. And so here, if you've used Jupyter Notebooks, this is going to feel very familiar, where we can write our code, but we can also do Markdown and switch between languages if we want to. In terms of the compute that I'm going to use, I'm not going to set up any fancy clusters. I'm just going to use generic serverless compute that I've got here. In terms of the data that we've got, I've put this into cloud storage. That can either be ADLS for those of you on Azure or S3. So can I get a quick show of hands? Who here is AWS first? So some. Azure first? Yeah, that's about right. And Google? I'd like to thank both of you for coming out today. Okay, so we've got our data. And I've uploaded it into the cloud. And because it's not really in a table format yet, this is something that I've put in volumes. You could consider this an unstructured data. And so I'm going to head to the left here, and this is my catalog. And I can see here I've got my catalog for Casper. This is where I'm keeping all of my data. And I have my kitchen orders here, and within volumes, this is all the data that has been emailed to me. So if I extend this out a little bit, within here, these are all the different files that I have been sent. Now, I've done the very unsexy thing of using CSV data, but if you have something that's unstructured, that's not ready to be a table yet, this could be like image data, it could be video data, it could be anything that's not quite ready to be processed yet. And so from there, what I want to be able to do is I then want to be able to put it into a format that is going to be good for big data, that is going to be something structured that I am able to do my analytics with. And so with all this data, we are going to go ahead and make a table. And to do that, I am going to do a few things. So actually, before I even put it into a table, let's go ahead and view this. And without putting it into a table or anything like that, oh, waiting, that's performance anxiety maybe. I can just go ahead and I can do select star from CSV data and just see what it looks like in its raw form. There we go, it's kicked off, it's acquired some compute for me. And, oh, the Wi-Fi was really terrible here. There we go. So here we have my CSV data, and this is it in its raw form. You can see that I don't have any headings. Is everything in the right format yet? dunno, but we can go ahead and get that. Now, I am going to make sure that I've got my default, which is using my catalog Casper and my schema for kitchen orders. Now, I don't know about you, but you don't want to sit here and watch me code from scratch. So I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to use our AI assistant, and I am going to say something along the lines of, can you make an empty table if it doesn't exist with the following columns. I'm going to do a bit of demo wizardry here and just copy the following columns. And let's go ahead and see what it does. Okay, create table if not exists. Order ID, you know what? I am going to accept that. I'm not going to run it though, because I think we're going to make this a big int. Yes, thank you. And string, int decimal, and timestamp. So let's go ahead. Oh, kitchen orders, I want to call it line items. Let's go ahead and run that and see if that works. And lo and behold, it has gone and made an empty table for me here. I'm then going to copy the data into it. And so again, I'm not going to write this out from scratch. I'm going to say copy into the table. And now that I've already created it, I can refer to any of the tables that I have here. So I've got Casper's kitchen orders line items, the data from the CSV in the volume, and I'm also going to say use select. I'm going to specify the type of syntax that I want it to use. Big int order ID syntax, and let's see what it goes ahead and does with that. Copy into. I think this is going to be all right. From select C1 as all of these things. It hasn't quite got this right, because you should be string. Oh, the joys of a live demo. Right, you should be int as quantity, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And I don't actually need this header statement here. But again, I didn't specify what the volume was. It just is context aware. It knows about the things that I have previously written in my notebook, and it'll go ahead and do that. And it's gone ahead and run it, and I can see that I've inserted 13,000 records to be able to do that. Okay then, so now that I have my table, I can start doing some analysis, and I'm not going to be so lazy as to make the AI write this. I'm just going to say select date of the order received timestamp. Let's see if I've spelled this correctly. I don't think I have. I probably should have just let the AI fixed it. Oh, I got it right. Oh, what a shocker. As order date, and then the quantity from line items. Lovely. And I'm going to go ahead and run this. And, oh, I also have a visualization. Here's what I did earlier. So not only do we get the table of the results, which again is not particularly useful, I have also been able to get a visualization with this as well. So this has brought back quite a few rows. This is just kind of like any other kind of interactive visualization tool that you might use. And so I can see here that I have set this to weeks. And this is the average quantity over time. Again, I could pick any aggregation that I wanted. And so here is my visualization. I can actually see that this has gone down over time. Remember, we were trying to figure out whether like the increase in it was causing an issue. Actually, that is not the case here. Okay, maybe it's something like the standard deviation over time. So let's instead say, instead of this, select order date. Let's do maybe like, I don't know, the maximum quantity, quantity, and group by. I'm going to be lazy. I'm just going to do one. Whoop. And so here we have this. My visualization that is run earlier has not quite worked. So let's go ahead. We'll just make one together, shall we? And you can see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and make a visualization. And I can see that I've got my order date here. And let's go ahead and make that weeks. This is the max quantity. I don't want the sum of this. I just want the maximum over time. And it looks like, well, that's not very useful at all. People are just ordering the same amount. Like, I don't think this has got anything to do with the standard deviation. But I can see a bit of a problem. I wonder if anyone can notice it. My last date is actually not particularly recent. This is from August. We are now in September. So I think we need to go back and we need to email and ask for our last piece of data. So there we go. I'm missing the most recent month of data. Can you check what you've sent and send over the last file? Dear valued customer, please find the attached remaining file. All the best in your impending deplatform. Best. Lovely. Okay then, and so I can upload this to S3. And one of the magic things about Databricks, which is really quite nice, I have been able to, through the wizardry of demos, I have been able, in my volumes, oh, come on tooltip, get out of the way. I've been able to upload the next month of data, which is this one here. And one of the great things about this is that I will now be able to run all of this, and it'll be incremental. So if I go back to this copy into statement, whereas previously I'd imported 13,000, if I run this again, because I'm using a table, because it's a delta table, it's checkpointed the data that has come in. And so now when I run it again, it's only going to import add in the new data. And because of the way that I've written this, I can just kind of rerun everything all over again, and it should give me the latest up-to-date data. And again, oh, that's cut off. I don't know where that's gone. But unfortunately, it's still telling the same story, and we don't have what we need. So unfortunately for us, hypothesis 1 is a bit of a dud. That's not the thing that we thought it was going to be. But okay, I think I hear an email incoming. Why are you taking so long? It's obviously caused by drivers working multiple apps at once, and we're getting played and you haven't stopped it. Find the evidence so we can fire them? Okay, thanks, Elon. But first of all, we only have this with Uber Eats, and secondly, we can't fire them because they don't work for us, so that's not really going to be a thing. But let's humor him and have a look at hypothesis 2. This is the idea of batching, where drivers deliver for multiple apps at the same time. Now, we are one of the biggest kitchens around, so we should be able to see whether people are doing this. And because of the data that we're using here, all of this data is going to be coming in real time. This is all the data from all of the pickups, and this is being fed to us in a real-time fashion. So let's head back to Databricks, and if I go to the real-time data here, what I can do is I can connect to my compute, and I can interact with this table just like I would any other table. If you're used to kind of the database world, there are no table locks on this particular type of data. We can just go and we can query it, and it is updated. So if you have something that's being updated by a Kafka stream or some other kind of real-time process, this is available to you. And ta-da! And we can see here the timestamps of what is coming in. And yes, there is an hour lag because all of my region is in Europe, but this is all of the real-time data that is coming in, and we can see the driver name and the identifier and what the facilitator is, like who is it who is delivering all of this data. Now with this real-time data, we can do some interesting things. We can even make a real-time dashboard based on what we have here. And we've got a live head-up display of everything that is going on within our dashboard. Now, if you're familiar with dashboards, you're like, okay, that's fine, that's great. But we do have a lot of features within here. So not only do we also have a mix of batch data and live data as well. Oh, once it's done thinking about it. This is just kind of a bunch of charts. That's not hugely impressive. But if I go to the edit, you can see a bit more underneath the hood of what's going on here. So in terms of the data that I'm using, I've not had to take a copy of it or put it anywhere else. For some things like the sign-in today, I've actually had to do a bit of complex ETL here to get the windows right. So if you want to do some complex ETL, you absolutely can do. You don't have to switch to another language like DAX at all. And again, this is still the same copy of data. If you want, you can upload like a matching file if you want to as well. We can have some like filters on, but we also have, of course, autonomous AI features as well. So if you just want to be able to write in plain English what a particular thing is, you can absolutely do that. I don't really think that means anything, but never mind. In terms of all the visualizations, we've got all the standard ones that you want. Oh, and even a new one. We've got a new forecast one at the moment. Excellent. I don't know how good the forecast is, but we do have a forecast. Kind of all the settings that you'd expect to see. One of the things that maybe you wouldn't expect to see is, earlier on I showed you that Genie space. You can link a dashboard to a Genie space so that you can ask plain English questions about your dashboard. Let's be honest, who here has made a dashboard that has one person look at it and then they never use it ever again? Okay, I see quite a few hands go up. This is the feature for you, basically. If you have that person that keeps on asking more questions about your dashboards, and then you have to build a new dashboard to answer the question, instead, you can give them a Genie space and they can ask questions about the data, kind of get their own deep dives for that as well. In terms of the settings, of course, you can publish it to maybe something like a Slack channel, or you can publish it so that people get alerts. And of course, if you really want to, you could package it up as a PDF and then email it to someone as well. But this is a real-time dashboard, so we are not going to do that. So let's go back to our published version. And hopefully now, yeah, you can see some more data has come in with some new drivers. So let's head back. So this is my real-time data. And let's figure out this batching stuff together. So we are going to have to write a query here together. I am also getting a lot of signs that I'm running out of time quite quickly, so I might have to cheat a little bit. So we've got this sign-in data here. And what we want to do is we want our driver from this. Oh, hang on, let's just run this. So you can see our real-time data. Right, let's add in another one. And so what we are going to need, we are going to need our, select. Oh. Select. The driver name. We had the facilitator that was in this data set, didn't we? Yeah, there we go, facilitator. And we also want to make a little interval for our time as well. So we want a 10-minute window just to see what is going on here. So I'm going to add in this. And we want this from, oh, there we go. The grey text has helpfully popped up with what it thinks I need. So this is giving us an interval window. And I think through the magic of demos, I might actually cheat. Here is a query that I've pre-written earlier. Okay then, we can now see who is potentially batching. So who is having more than one order within 10 minutes, who is being a naughty driver and breaking our terms of service. And this table isn't particularly useful, so let's make a visualization. So we've got the delivery interval. Let's make this over weeks. Let's add a column, a batching flag, and let's make this, I don't know, yeah, a sum is like how many people are batching over time. And we can see that it's kind of, for the thousands of orders that we've got, this is kind of okay. We have got more orders over time. This isn't really a smoking gun for me that like 4 people a week are accidentally batching. Again, this isn't an exact science. So if we go back to hypothesis, unfortunately, where drivers are delivering for multiple apps at the same time, I don't think this is credible. But I do have another idea. Maybe what instead, it's for the actual restaurants at the same time. And so this is where people are able to order from multiple restaurants. So let's say you really like Vietnamese food and your partner really likes Mexican and you can't decide where you want to go for dinner. Maybe instead the app allows you to order from multiple restaurants at the same time. So how could we go ahead and sort out that? So maybe instead we go ahead and we try and solve for this particular query. Now again, I'm a little bit pressed for time, so I am going to, through the magic of demos, show you my pre-written SQL syntax and show what we have here. And so what we're doing here is we're counting how many brands are going to be used for our particular order. We're joining on the star rating as well, so we can see whether these things are linked. If someone has got multiple orders or like multiple restaurants that they're ordering from in one app, what is going on here? Also adding this on here, and we can see that actually when someone orders from multiple restaurants, the average rating over time goes down. This is probably our smoking gun of what is going on. So I'm actually going to change this, and I'm going to, again, use the assistant. And actually, I want to say, turn this into a view using this select query. This is the inline AI assistant, which we'll go through, and I'm happy with that. Restaurants per order. Let's go ahead and run that. And now we've turned it into a view so that people don't have to remember this complex stuff. They can go ahead and just get this. So this is great news. We have been able to find out what has been the particular problem. Hello, Elon. Looks like we had an issue with Uber's latest app update where people could order from multiple restaurants and some of the order were much slower to cook than the others, and so parts of the delivery were cold. We're working with the kitchens to sort out the scheduling. Oh, and he's replied, he must be on his phone. How could you possibly know all of that? Print out your code and present it to me next time I'm in the office. I will set up a meeting for Saturday. Until then, I want hourly updates on how our star rating is doing for these customers. So one of the great things about everything that we've been doing here is this has all been captured within Unity Catalog. I've not had to register anything. It's all happened automatically. So I've got this restaurants per order. I don't know where that's gone actually, where I've saved that. But if I go into line items and I open this in our in Catalog Explorer, I can see here that I've got a few useful things. So not only do I have the table description of everything that's going on, I can also get the lineage. And not only do I get which notebook and which dashboard and all of that kind of jazz, I also get a lineage graph with it too. And this has all been generated automatically. I didn't need to set this up. I didn't need to have a particular setting. This is all created for me. And you can see here where the magic of demos starts to fall down because we have got all of these things here. And we can get their lineage over however many months our data has been processed for. That's not the only thing that we get from this as well. I get the insights on how frequently this table is used. I get a history of every single thing that happened to this table and how it's been changed over time. Of course, we've got loads of things around permissioning, but one of the things that I did want to show you, again, we have this plain English interaction with your data as well. I don't know about you, but there have been so many times where I'm like, is this the right data set? And I do an hour trying to figure out, getting access to it, querying it, figuring out it's the wrong thing, and then I have to go on to the next thing. And with this nice interaction here, I can just quickly understand to be like, hey, is this the right thing that I should be doing? So that's lineage. I am getting the signal that I really need to move off the stage right now. Of course, we have alerting, and this is the ability to alert based on certain criteria of what is going on. And you can send this to various destinations. So, to summarize, lineage, hourly alert, I'm going to skip that. But in terms of a nice summary of what we've done today, so to recap what we've done, we reviewed the data with our Genie Space, with our chatbot. We've incrementally loaded a bunch of CSV data. We also analyzed a lot of real-time data and made a dashboard out of it. We've auto-generated the lineage, and let's pretend that we made an hourly alert for the ratings. Oh, and he's replied, great, what about next week? Okay, thank you very much for joining. Back to the original website that we looked at. I still don't really understand what the text means, but this diagram does kind of speak to us in terms of the things that Databricks does. So in terms of the open data lake, that was something that was there. We had that open data that we didn't need to copy. It stays in your account. We've got the Genie Space dashboards for business intelligence. For warehousing, we had our notebooks and our SQL editor. For AI and data science, this is kind of awkward. They put me on this stage. We didn't really talk about that at all. In terms of real-time data, we were able to do that too. And for orchestration, you can do alerting and jobs. And of course, it was one access and one copy of data, which means that you don't have to have a complicated governance because there's no duplicates of the data that you have. All right, that is it from me. Sorry for overrunning. Thank you all very much. Thank you.